What's up, you guys? My name is Stephen Hunt, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Angel, and we're here to give you a status update on our Gilbert build. We're super excited to give you guys a tour and give you some updates on everything that's been going on, some of the delays, the issues that we've been running into, and just overall give you guys a status update. The next time you guys are here, the whole house will be completed, so this is our second to last video. But let's get started and get you inside.
Before we go inside, last time we left off, this entrance was just getting built out. We got these custom doors in, and now you'll see the exterior of the house is fully painted.
So we did an alabaster color for the main portion of the house. This is a synthetic stucco, so the color is actually integrated into the stucco color itself, which is really, really cool. We did 3 different colors on the exterior. We have one that's called Amazing Gray for our board and batten. All of the stucco is going to be alabaster. And then our garage, we decided to do a little bit more contrast and did something called Urbane Bronze, which isn't a full black, but it really ties everything in together really beautifully.
Here at the entrance, we wanted to have some fun with it, so we added this really cool tile that you'll kind of see in some portions of the interior of the house as well. And then when you look up, this is probably one of my favorite materials that we've used in this house. Stephen, do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, so this is a product called EOS, and it's from a company called Maximo Wood, and it's really, really cool because it has a 20-year warranty, and you do not get 20-year warranties on wood. So this thing is fire resistant. It's beautiful. If you notice the detail behind it, there are no knots in the wood, and that's something that I'm very, very picky about when I look at any kind of batten or interlocking, hemlock ceiling, is that I don't want to see any knots. It's a very high-end look, so we're really, really pumped about how it turned out, and we actually have that in other areas of the house too that we'll point out.
I think my favorite part about this product too is a lot of the times that you're working with wood, it's really difficult to figure out a good stain. I've always had a challenge with that where I'll look at different stains, but when you actually stain the wood, it somehow always turns out a little bit different, and it's really tough to match. This comes ready to go, so you don't have to stain it. When you're shopping for it, the color that you see is what you get. So I loved the element of no surprise there. We fell in love with this specific shade of wood, and we wanted to use it all throughout the house, out here and in the back, as you'll see. So come on in, guys. All right, and as we enter here,
you'll see we have drywall up. We have so much done compared to last time. It actually looks like a freaking house in here, which is awesome. Now, one thing I'll point out too, a little detail, because you're not gonna be able to see all the details because we have all the floors covered up right now, is that same patio tile that we had going on the outside comes onto the inside as well. And it comes in for about 2.5 feet and then transitions over to the hardwood floors. When all of this is eventually pulled up, and you guys see in the next video, it's a really, really pretty transition, and we have it lined up. If we're actually able to check here, this is where it stops. So it's a very symmetrical, nice line that kind of completes everything and brings it all together, which is really stunning, honestly. Now, last time, because this is all framed, this is what I was talking about when we were saying the barreled arch. Now, it's not fully complete, but we're just about there. So we decided to do all paneling coming into this piano room is what we call it. It's our formal living room, but we call it the piano room because it's where our grand piano will go. We have this huge barreled arch that you're gonna walk through, and these panels that are currently on the wall are actually still going to be wrapped around the top of this. They just have not got those installed just yet. We ran out of paneling, so that just came in. So they should be getting that knocked out any day now, but you get the entire idea of what this looks like. And now we actually have our hidden door complete. So let me go on in here, and I'll have...
There's no lock on here. Good luck in there. Well, as you'll see here, we're still working on the locks, and as it seamlessly is gonna go in, this is probably one of my favorite details of the house. I love anything that's like secretive or hidden. So the detail behind this and the idea was to basically have a really seamless powder room that you can't really notice or see. What you're gonna see here is actually gonna be on a magnet. So the way it's gonna close, it's gonna kind of self-close as the magnet is installed, and you're gonna be able to push it open just like this.
There's still some adjusting that we're gonna have to do to the hinges and the locks, so they just got this installed, and we're getting close to finalizing it. But yeah, it's really exciting, and this is then gonna go into a little powder bathroom area. Again, I'm ripping up all their paper now on the floors, but it's gonna be really, really pretty. This is gonna be a lime-washed, really deep burgundy color with a Calcutta Viola marble sink that's gonna be there. We're doing the same exact Calcutta Viola for our entire fireplace around. So that will be installed. Actually, I think they're coming later today to install that, which is really exciting. But it'll come out about 18 inches on each side from the edges here. It'll be wrapped around, just a really big, grand, awesome fireplace mantle, which is exciting.
And then I know in the last video, we kind of talked about what do we do with that little space over there, whether we want to turn it into a wine bar, storage closet. We ended up opting into the storage closet idea just because it's right by the front entrance. I think it's going to be nice to hang coats, keep shoes, all that kind of stuff. That's why it's kind of away. And then we relocated a bar area into a different spot. So we kind of figured out how to add both in, just switched up the locations a little bit.
Let's keep looking at the house. Follow me. Here we are back at the entrance. We have this beautiful large foyer. We just got all of our chandeliers, all of our lighting in, so it's gonna be really exciting to get those things hung. We're just waiting until basically the final touches for the house are ready. So we wanna make sure that all of our paint is fully complete, all the touch-ups are fully complete because these are very expensive lighting fixtures. This one alone retails for $15,000, so we wanna make sure that there's no chance of it getting ruined. So that will stay in the box until really the final touches are just about ready.
Yeah, and in the last video, we'll be able to give a very specific breakdown of where we got everything and just basically all the merchants and vendors that we used for all of the details in the house as everything gets finished up and installed.
Now the bar area that Angel was talking about, we decided to make a change last minute in the house. We decided to add a little bar section right over here, right off the entry, because this ended up being such a huge long wall and we're like, what are we gonna do to fill this huge long wall? But we have channeling strips underneath all of these as well, so that way there's gonna be lighting. We're gonna do a really fun, cool tile. Really cool.
Another thing that you'll see throughout this house is kind of lots of arches. That's probably one of our favorite things about this house is I really think it elevates the look instead of just seeing like the boxy entrances that you typically see in the homes that we flip. As we've elevated the price point, we wanted to make sure that we add in all of those little details and it carries throughout the house. And another thing we decided to elevate is the vents as well. These are more of the considered luxury linear commercial vents versus the square normal boxes that you see in most of the homes that we build. This is something Steven and I really debated and he was not for it, but I really pushed for it.
So Angel went to a girls' night and they were having some wine and the girl that was hosting it ended up having these linear vents all throughout her house and she goes, gosh, these are so beautiful. We have to have them. So she made the executive decision that night, because our project manager happened to be there too, and said, go ahead and do those linear vents. So here we are, $8,500 later for our linear vents. But
for the price of 2 glasses of wine, which was probably a $20 bottle of wine, is how we ended up with these linear vents. But you know, I think they elevate the space. There's no regret there. I think it's gonna be a really nice touch.
With the arches, we wanted to really incorporate as many arches into this house as possible. You'll see that theme kind of throughout the entire place. One of the other things that we were struggling with was, okay, we don't want it to just feel like a big old open box, so how do we create some separation? So you'll see up here we did a little bit of a drop down that makes these feel like different spaces. So when you first come into the house, you're able to kind of land here for the informal living room, we call it. We'll have a TV on this wall. It feels like a nice little cozy spot, but we wanted to make sure that this felt different going into the kitchen and what's gonna be the dining as well, because it is such an open floor plan. So we decided to add this archway up here so that way we can also run beams going across, which is the next thing that we're gonna be installing, are beams that actually run horizontally throughout this entire kitchen space. So that's why we made that decision.
So when you have an open space this large, you really wanna break up the ceilings too. We really like to add a lot of character and dimension, where as you see more of a formal feel over there that's a bit more traditional with the framing. But over here, it's gonna be a little bit more of that modern look. You'll see a lot of natural stone. You'll see the beams going across, different lighting fixtures. Even though it's an all connected open space, those materials are really gonna break it up to make it feel like its own separate little areas.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the kitchen because this thing is awesome and they just finished installing this kitchen yesterday, so this is our first time really getting to see everything come together as well. This is a 12-foot island that has cabinets on the front and the back. Over here we do have a sink that's gonna be going in, as well as we have a sink on the opposite side too. So we have 2 sinks, that way we can both do dishes at the same exact time.
As if you ever do dishes.
This right here was meant to be a big showstopper, and I think it really is turning out to be that way. So we're going to have countertops that run down here at the bottom, as you would expect, but we're also gonna be dropping down our hood vent, which is gonna be made out of stone. It's gonna be the same as the countertop, and it's gonna run all the way across. So that's 10 feet all the way across for an entire hood stone. It's gonna have some really pretty fabricator details on there, and we're doing the same exact slab as the entire backsplash. This is where the pot filler will go, as I'm sure you could assume, but it should really tie everything together just so beautifully.
One thing we wanted to add too, these are not the final colors. So this is just the cabinets in the color that they come with. All the white is actually gonna be painted, what is it called?
It's called Accessible Beige. So it's a creamy off-white color. It's a greigey kind of color, a little bit more tan in there. That Accessible Beige paired with this dark oak stain is going to just pop so beautifully. It's gonna look so, so good. On this side over here is where our refrigerators are. That's what these panels are. These will also be getting painted. They're gonna be Accessible Beige, just like the rest of the cabinets are gonna be. So these are gonna get popped on. They're not installed on there just yet, but they'll be popped on, and that way there's really a seamless transition. It it looks like just an entire wall of cabinets, which I'm super, super pumped about. So when you're looking directly at the kitchen, you'll be able to see, and I think we tried to explain it really well when we did the last video, is that we have these 2 arches on each side. Those arches are 9 feet tall on each side, and then we're gonna have pendants that drop on each side as well. So you'll be able to see these beautiful large pendant lights, which I'm so excited for you guys to see. The whole idea behind it is that we wanted to have a wraparound butler's pantry back here. So we have an entire side of cabinets that's back here as well. You will notice down here is that we have that same checkerboard tile. So starting right at this entryway here starts the checkerboard tile that actually goes all the way through to our mudroom back here as well. And it's carried throughout the entire pantry area. So it creates a really different feel when you're looking back here. Adds a lot of dimension, which is really pretty. You'll see we have some lower cabinets here with a window, which is really, really pretty. We'll tile all of this all the way up. And then we have our entire pantry section back here. This is where our drawer microwave will go. So that way everything's kind of tucked away. We have all the extra deep cabinets that are also installed too. So we can put pots and pans. We can put really anything that we need from a pantry perspective too. So this is easy access for the kids to be able to get their snacks. Again, we have the floating shelves going through here that are also gonna have the lighting that goes underneath. And then this will also be tiled all the way up. So this will create a really, really cool pantry spot. Now, you will see we have a little bit of a drop down up here. And the reason being for that is because we wanted this side to mirror the other side that we just looked at. It's kind of like a glass and metal structure, right? So it's metal framing that comes down to make shelving and it hangs from the ceiling. And we wanted to do that so it reflected the black frame window on the other side. And it felt like we kind of had a similar style on this side as well. So that'll be installed on the final video as well. So we're excited for you guys to see that one too. This will also be all tiled to match the other side. Again, a ton of symmetry here.
And as we walk through here, this is what leads into our primary bedroom. This is probably the biggest drastic change from the previous video where we talked about as everything got framed out, we started walking the house, got a feel for it and realized for how big the rest of the house feels, this felt really, really tight. We made an executive decision to bust out this wall and extend it an additional 10 feet. And I am so happy that we did do this. It feels much more spacious, much more open. Again, we plan to move into this house, but when we do sell it down the road, this is just such an awesome space. I mean, there's so many opportunities. If you have the bed set with the nightstands over on that side, this can be a casual lounge area. You can have a couch, you can have a TV, a little table. You can also, for parents that are still having babies, this is a really nice nursery space to be able to have right next to the bedroom. Super high functional space that I have zero regrets over.
It turned out really, really good. Now the ceiling fan will not be here as well. This will be a chandelier that does drop down and it'll be very, very beautiful. And the idea behind that is that when we have our door open on this side that you're able to see through, and every view is beautiful. We want every view to be beautiful in this house. We have these arched pocket doors. Let's see here. Boom. It actually has a soft close. It's just because everything's taped up. But this is stained to match the exact same stain as our island. So that way there's some speaking to each other in terms of the design. And then we have this arched around the glass. This is actually just a normal door that we just decided to arch around it. So that way it looks like it has a full arch going with it too, because the glass in here is arched. It's a beautiful door, but let's go check out the master bathroom because that also got expanded.
Yes. Super excited about this addition. Again, once we pushed the wall 10 feet over that way, that really helped us expand this bathroom and just made it a stunner of a bathroom. I mean, it's a true dream. Now that I have my count of my vanities right, it is in fact 3 vanities, not 4. A little bit of a his and hers. This is actually gonna be a hers now that I think about it. A little additional vanity for all the makeup and all the getting ready and all this fun stuff. Walk-in shower. This will be a massive glass door that you'll be able to open in. Party shower for the entire family. I think you can fit, 20 people in here if you really wanted to. Beautiful porcelain stone all the way up here and then tile up all the way to the ceiling. And then we'll have the shower heads on both sides. Again, his and hers, with 2 little benches that are hidden just for the convenience of setting your things down, but also this nice elevated shelf. With our kids wanting to always shower with us, this is just gonna be really nice and functional where we all don't have to stand underneath one little shower. So I'm really excited to have a dual head shower.
We can be on opposite sides and wave to each other. And
I know, this is finally how we get to catch up about our workday.
The porcelain wraps all the way around. This is 48 inches tall. We did not want to spend money on getting an arabescado marble to go in here, especially because it's a wet area. So we ended up doing an arabescado porcelain slab that comes in 10.5 feet by 5 feet. So it comes in an entire slab size. So it looks like real marble. And they slap the entire thing on here. It looks like one gigantic slab. It'll wrap around on the sides here, all the way to this side, and this is where we decided to hide all of our hardware as well, so that way you don't see it. It keeps a very, very clean look. So again, we have our little benches here, so that way Angel can shave her legs, or we can hide all of our, soap and that kind of stuff. Keeps everything tucked away. We didn't want to have to step in and go like that and get sprayed every single time. So now we can just go like this, which will be way better.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that.
Now, you can't really see it right now, again, because they have everything closed off, but this flooring is super, super cool, and it's carried throughout the entire space. We did a herringbone style here, and these are 24 inches long, so they're these very long tiles, and they're not super thick either. They're only about 2 inches thick, which is really, really cool. It's unique, and you don't really see that. As we keep moving forward here, when you do first walk in, you have the double doors, and it's gonna look directly at our tub. So the tub's gonna be right here. We're gonna have a chandelier drop down, and that same porcelain slab that we were talking about that's gonna be in the shower is gonna come up here 48 inches as well. Here's where the other vanity is, so that way we have a his and her side. This will be my side because I don't need to do makeup, so I don't need to turn around and do makeup. But behind this one is where we put the water closet. So this is where the bathroom will be, the toilet will be, so you can go in here, have your own privacy, shut it, all that kind of fun stuff, which then leads us into our closet, which I'll let Angel talk about the closet.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited about this closet. Obviously, any girl's dream is to have a wraparound floor to ceiling closet with lots of shelving, lots of pulls, lots of opportunity to hang clothes that are either like shorter or the longer term for dresses. The way we thought about this is kind of like a his and her side. So mine over here, Steven's over here, but regardless, just lots of opportunity for pulls and drawers of variety of sizes, some of the shorter ones for like jewelry, watches, things like that. And then some of the deeper in-depth ones for clothing or anything else that you want to put in here and store. I want to be able to walk in here, see exactly what I'm going to wear, and feel as much space in here as possible. So we'll probably add in a little bench in the middle to be able to try stuff on and sit. But overall, I'm ecstatic about how this turned out. I love the color of this, like the lighter oak wood. And we also added lighting strips, as you can see here in the sides. So you'll be able to turn it on, and it just adds a little bit of a pop and glamour. And I just think that's really fun. It's every girl's dream.
Well, if you watched the last video too, you're probably like, wait, what about the washer and dryer that Angel pointed out in the wrong location? That was actually set up to be right back here. So we still have the washer dryer set up that's still tucked away back there, but after looking at some of the measurements, we felt that it would have felt just a little bit too tight. We also don't have a need for having the washer and dryer in here right now. So we decided to, hey, let's just cover it up for the time being. We have it there if we ever decide that we want to use it, if our family continues to expand and all that kind of stuff, but we opted to do kind of a different thing now in our actual mudroom laundry room. So we're gonna do 2 stackable units in there. So it still covers everything that we possibly need. We just didn't feel it was fully necessary in here. And for the sake of how it's gonna look, we wanted this to be more beautiful, and we felt this looked a little bit more seamless and beautiful.
All right, as we exit the primary bed and bath, we are back into our pantry, and we wanted to match the entrance on this side as closely as possible to our primary bedroom door. So you will see very similar arched entry with a pocket door that's gonna be a little challenging to get out because again, everything is taped off. But once again,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
I cannot wait to get everything unwrapped to fully see it all. But as you walk through here, you'll see the mudroom. Again, you'll see the tile floor carry in here, and this was truly like my mom's point of view vision for a perfect mudroom. Because when I think about my kids right now, all the dirt, the dust, the grass, everything they carry in, I really wanted a separate space that they could change their stuff, throw in their shoes, make it really easy. So this area can be kind of messy and dirty and again, be hidden away, and I don't mind it. A single vanity sink over here to wash hands and whatnot. But right here is that kind of like locker style storage space where down here, you'll have the larger pools where all the kids can store in like all of their shoes, all of their extracurricular activities, soccer balls, baseball bats, whatever they wish. We're gonna have cute little hooks up here for them to hang their backpacks, coats, jackets, and whatnot, and just additional storage. This is kind of where we'll have the double stackable washer dryer, some storage at the top, and then an entrance into our garage.
Before you go to the garage, I want to point something out here. I know we kind of talked about it in the last video, but we have a black steel frame door here that matches the same as our front door, which is really, really cool because this goes out to our patio. And we added another water closet inside of the mudroom. So that way we don't have to run all over the house in order to get to the closest bathroom. If we're coming home with our kids, we can go right here, go to the restroom, or if we're entertaining outside, people don't have to run through the whole house. They can come straight through here on the back patio, go straight to the bathroom. It keeps everything clean, it keeps everything convenient. So that's why we opted for this, and I think it was such a good decision. I'm so glad that we did that. Here is the 6-car garage. On plans it says 4-car garage, but it's a 6-car garage. And here's some of our beautiful chandeliers that we were talking about too. These things are freaking massive. I cannot wait for you guys to see these. These are our dream chandeliers that we have wanted for so long, and we were able to get a deal on them, so we decided to pull the trigger. It was over budget still, but totally worth it. These are insulated garage doors, so it can keep everything cool in here, which we're really excited about too. We had the entire house insulated, so we chose to not just do the exterior walls, we did spray foam insulation throughout all of this area. We did spray foam insulation in the ceilings, we did spray foam insulation everywhere in the house, and then for all the interior walls, those are all actually like a rock wool in between every single wall too. So the house is actually dead silent. It's almost eerie how quiet that house is, but it's really awesome because if you have kids, you know those kids are gonna be super loud and you won't hear a thing, which will be really, really awesome.
Or really dangerous.
Or really dangerous. We do have all of our air handlers on this side over here. These are gonna be getting covered up with some custom doors that are gonna go in front of them, but we wanted to have easy access to these. So nobody has to really go in the attic or anything like that. If we have anybody that's coming over to our house to work on these, if anything breaks, which hopefully it never has to break considering everything's brand new now, it'll all be easy access right here. So that's why we opted to do all of our air handlers in the garage versus just throwing them up into the attic space. Now here's another spot that we're very, very excited about, and you can kind of see right here, there's this beautiful shot that goes to these custom black steel frame doors that we had made, again with treated glass, going into our office space. They have not painted in here just yet because we were doing a lime wash paint in here. It's by Portola Paints, and it's called White Smoke. It's so stunning. It's kind of a gray, beigey kind of feel as well. And then we did this white oak built-in setup here, which is awesome. We'll put a nice big old desk right over here so we can do our work. We got the floor outlet so you don't have to see any wires. You got the window right here that looks outside. I mean, come on.
You got lots of natural lighting. I think this is the room that I was probably most nervous about because again, if you remember from our previous video, we did not knock down any of the walls on this part of the house.
This was the existing wall. We expanded this out, but we only pushed the house out 12 feet. So we were just nervous about how the space was essentially gonna turn out because we're like, is it gonna feel too narrow? Is it gonna feel too small? Because it's really long this way, but it's not super wide this way. But I think that it turned out perfect. It's the perfect office space. You don't want your office to be too big. You want it to be a little bit smaller and kind of your own little space, which is exactly how this turned out. Let's make our way out of the office. We're back into the kitchen area, dining area, all that kind of stuff, and we'll show you the other side of the house where our kids will be.
So as we head into this side of the house, this is more of like our split floor plan, so guest bedroom / kids bedroom side of the house. So as you walk in here, we widened these hallways. As you remember at first, the hallways were only this big, just basically the width of this door entry. So we decided to bust this wall out, really expand everything so it feels nice and grand. And then we just added some additional towel storage here to maximize the space. This is gonna be our little girls' room. We'll probably add some wallpaper at the top to make it even more girly and whimsical. But as we close this door, I think this is truly every little girl's dream. It is an extra large space. As we continue to have more kids, this is probably gonna be shared between a couple of kids because how large is this room?
This is like 15 by 18. It's huge. So you slap a twin bed in here for a little girl, you know what I mean? And it's like, there's so much space still. We decided to do wainscoting to go 6 feet tall because these are 12-foot ceilings. So most of the time you see wainscoting going up no more than 42 inches tall. We decided to bring it up even taller just because of the tall ceilings, which I think really brought it together. It makes it feel pretty grand actually.
Yes. And as we walk out this way, the first door to the left, which is a little bit dark in here, everything is still wrapped up, is gonna be a dual vanity kids bathroom that they can share. This is the original bathroom. We didn't really change anything to it. So we decided to rip it out, maybe throw in a little bench, some hooks for their towels, robes, swimsuits and whatnot, and have it a little bit more open. So they'll both have a little his and her side with a toilet hidden over here, and then a bathtub tiled all the way to the ceiling, which we will reveal in our final video since everything is still taped off while everything's getting painted.
Yes, they're almost like polka dot floors. They're a 2-inch penny tile, so they're like think of normal penny tiles, they're like this big. And so they're this taupey, dark taupey color, which is really, really cool because it's darker than what the actual wood is on this, but it's also darker than the tiles that we have back here, which we did a very pretty, cool design, which I'm excited for you guys to see. Next video, you guys will get to see the full reveal on that with the countertops, with the mirrors, with the lighting, with everything. It's gonna be so beautiful. As we keep going back this way, this goes into the little boy's room, our youngest, who just turned 1 year old, and we chose to do similar to what we did with Olivia's room, was do blue on this. But we decided just to do one accent wall all the way up because this is where his crib will most likely go and his bed will most likely go. We carried that through on the baseboards and on the interior door as well, which is so, so cool. We wanted to leave it open in that way because we do eventually want to do a really cool wallpaper like Angel was saying with the girls' room. Think about like a light whitish wallpaper that has little airplanes or little elephants or little tractors and
I'm
stuff
so
like
excited.
that. What we also chose to do, which we almost never do, is we did in all the bedrooms these white ceiling fans. You saw it in the primary, but we didn't want there to be a focal point of ceiling fans. I don't love the look of ceiling fans in a luxury house.
They're absolutely hideous.
Oh.
They're an eyesore. Like I can't, every time I see a ceiling fan, I'm just like,
But the functionality of the ceiling fan is also very important because you want to get the circulation of the air in there. I also just don't like the way they look. So putting a chandelier in here, which is what you see most of the time in a luxury house, just also to me isn't super functional. So that's why we did white ceiling fans. They blend in. You don't even notice them when you walk in. And that was our little trick to get around it, right? Let's make the walls beautiful to make everything else beautiful. Nobody's gonna look up at the ceiling. Here is our next bathroom. And here we have a non-slip large format tile that's gonna be under here that you guys will see that mirrors a lot of the tile that we have here. This is all 4x4 small tiles that they're all ceramic. So they all have a little bit of a different shade to them. We decided to go with a gray, which we never, ever do. But we put everything together and we were like, you know what, I think the gray is gonna look really nice in here because we have the unlacquered brass hardware that's gonna be going into the shower. Here is one of my favorite bedrooms in the entire house, just because it sits at the front entry and it has this massive, awesome window. Like we considered making this our office to begin with, just because we love this room so much. This will just be a guest room. We didn't want our kids to be sitting at the front of the house. So that's why we chose not to put them over here. Maybe one day they're gonna wanna be over here. We'll let them have it. But for the time being, while they're babies and toddlers and little, we're gonna keep them safe on this side. Now we can go to our favorite part of this entire house, which is the backyard, the lot. Now coming outside to our large covered patio, we finally got the multi-slider that we're able to close now. We've kept it open and kept the tracks covered because we wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting dirty so people didn't have to come through and clean those tracks out. So now we finally have everything put together there. But look at this large patio that we were looking at last time. It is essentially completed. We have the same ceiling detail that we were pointing out previously at the front, back here as well, which is just so beautiful. We did the black ceiling fans, so that way we have 3 ceiling fans to keep everything rotating and air circulating over here as well. These tiles that we decided to do, we picked these tiles specifically, A, because they're large format, they're 24 by 48 tiles, so 2 feet by 4 feet. But this same exact tile comes in a porcelain paver that's the same exact size, that looks the exact same. And the reason why we did that is because we're eventually going to carry this all out over to this guest house area that's back here that we'll go talk about. And the entire left side of this lot essentially is all going to be pavered. That looks exactly like this. That way it looks like the guest house and the main house and the areas in between are all connected together with the same exact flooring, which will give a really seamless look. It'll be so beautiful.
last time in the video that we actually asked you guys and the viewers to give us some ideas on how can we fill the space and make it really fun and functional for a family. And somebody DM'd us suggesting, this is a really massive wall that is really hard to fill. I can't imagine what you're gonna put up here. Somebody gave us the idea of hanging a projector or doing one of those rollout projectors and just installing it from the top or the bottom, have it pull up and have like a very large viewing party for kiddos when it's obviously a little cooler here in Arizona. And I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. I think that's such a fun little amenity to add that's gonna be really fun for the whole family to enjoy in the cooler months.
It's gonna be awesome. Now, as we kind of work our way out, and it's super hot here in Arizona, guys, so we're probably gonna limit our time out here in the sun. Imagine now this is all pavered, the exact same. It looks the exact same like we pointed out for the covered patio. This is gonna be walled off right over here so we can hide our AC units. Where these little tiny houses are, this is just where our propane tank's gonna go. So this is gonna be blocked off, walled off back here. And then this is gonna turn into a large patio area with trees that we can hang lights, fire pits, all that kind of stuff so everybody can hang out here. And then that leads us directly now over into the guest house. which they're doing some jackhammering, they're doing some work over there. This just got framed out 2 days ago. They knocked it out in 1 day, which was really, really awesome. We wanted to do a big, cool resort style pool that really felt like it was for the guest house. So we wanted it to all be tucked over here because, again, this is an entertainer's house. We wanted this to feel like an entertainer's house, and entertainers sometimes don't want to have everybody inside of the main house. So we can actually throw all of our parties out here without having the people go in and out of the main house. They can pull through the back here and just come straight back to the guest house, which is really, really cool. We decided to do a 20-foot wide by 40-foot long pool with this large Baja shelf. So that way all the kiddos, all of our friends have kids too, as you can imagine, right? So all the kiddos and babies can kind of hang out in this section. And then it goes down into the main pool area. This pool only goes down to a 6-foot depth. We didn't want it to be super, super deep. We know that it's gonna be a massive hangout pool. Where Angel's at right now, it's technically going to be 3 feet, 3.5 feet deep, and then it slopes all the way down to a 6-foot depth. That way, a lot of people can hang out. You don't have to be treading water the entire time you're hanging out with us over at our house. That same paver style is gonna come out another 10 feet or so to here. That way we can have lounge chairs wrapped all the way around. Really exciting stuff. And then of course we have our jacuzzi spa in the back. This will be really pretty to see this come together, and I'm really excited for you guys to see how it comes together. And also we had to put in a new septic system, which was back here. You guys can't see it, so I won't even point that out. But it was a ton of dirt. Like, this is probably half the amount of dirt that was here 2 weeks ago. It was insane. Let's go check out the guest house.
Let's do it.
So here at the guest house, we went back and forth on designs and styles and exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted this to be a great hangout space for everybody. Again, to have all of our parties when we do entertain, people can come through the back and just hang out here. So we decided to do a big wraparound patio. And right back here is a big, big, big storage closet. So we can do all of our pool toys, all that stuff tucked away. Nobody has to see it. But now we can have lounge areas over here. Again, this is all gonna be paved. So this will all be connected together, which feels really, really good and seamless. This is a 10-foot wide patio, not as big obviously as the other one, but then this is another 10 feet to the pool, so it still kind of feels like a 20-foot patio. And then right here we have a big bifold slider that's gonna be going in, so we can have that indoor-outdoor feel when you are going to the pool. So again, with the idea of hosting in mind here, we wanted to be able to have that feel where people can just go in and out and it feels very seamless. This guest house is about 1,000 square feet. Once this was framed, just like anything else in our main house, we decided we didn't want to keep some of the layout that we had originally come up with. Again, once you see things actually built and installed, sometimes your mind changes on exactly what it is that you want to do. So this island will be going bye-bye because this is where we had our sink and stuff. The sink's actually going to be going on this side, looking out to the pool, so that way we can keep much more of the space open and functional and usable. Then we have our living area where we're gonna slap a large TV, so people that are inside and outside can all kind of come in here, gather, not have to worry about being in the heat the entire time. We did decide to do 1 bedroom on this side as well. That way if we ever have guests coming to stay with us for an extended period of time, they have a place that they can sleep and they can hang out. We separated this section over here into 3 different sections, the bathroom area, because we had the idea of if we're out at the pool, we want this to be as functional as possible. So these are 3 sections, all with pockets, pocket doors. So this is just the toilet with a vanity, so that way somebody can go to the bathroom. But at the same exact time, on this side, we have the shower area with a little changing station. So we'll have benches over here so you can get changed, get into your swim trunks, all that kind of stuff. If you have kids, you have a private space here. And then you have a hallway that goes inside and outside. So that way people can essentially come in and out. They can use just the bathroom or they can use just the shower area, so that way it's as functional as possible and as many people can be using the space as possible. These are 10-foot ceilings. We decided to do vaulted ceilings too, so that way it's not quite as big as the main house, but it still feels pretty grand in here. It still plays off of the main house. We wanted this to be as big and open up a space as possible because we're anticipating on hosting a ton of friends over here, so we didn't want this to feel too much like a traditional house. Again, it's technically a guest house, but it's supposed to be set up as a pool house, so that way we can use it for the pool as well.
And as we conclude the tour of this phase, we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, comment below. We'd be happy to answer anything about the process, materials used, some of the challenges that we faced, anything that you have questions on, or if you're going through something similar as well, we are happy to help. Share any materials, resources, and things that we've learned along the way.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments. I can send you guys the links directly to anything that you guys want to know about. So overall, we're super, super pumped though. We're very, very excited about how the house is turning out. It's all really come together. Obviously, just like any other project, it costs more than what you expected and it took longer than you thought it was gonna take. So it's the same thing. It's no different here, even for your own personal house. So we're very, very, very excited, and we will show you guys what the final product looks like very soon.